Welcome to Sometimes You Have to Lose Yourself, a podcast where we explore the complexities of love, loss, and self-discovery. Join Charlie Perry and Marvin Speller when life's unexpected twists and turns come our way. It's easy to lose ourselves in the process, but what if losing ourselves is exactly what we need to find our true selves? Join us as we dive into the depths of human experience, sharing stories, insights, and conversations that will challenge, inspire, and maybe even help you find your way again. Sometimes you have to lose yourself. Let's get started.
Hey, what's going on, people? I am so glad to be here on Sometimes You Have to Lose Yourself, along with my host, Marvin David Speller, the author of Unpacking Grief Shattered to Onward. Um, and I'm glad to be here, man. How you doing?
Glad to be here too, my brother. It's
Yeah,
always good to break bread with you and share our best with everybody. I mean, why do we do this every week? It's never the same. It's never the same episode. Why do we do this, Charlie?
yeah. We want to share information we want to share things with people, and
We share love with many different angles with people because it's the right thing to do, and
exactly.
it's something that has to be done, and we do it from the bottom of our hearts every week. We share something new, something different, something
Mm,
for people sometimes just to think, well, what if? And this is what we do. Um, um, I know you were sharing a story that you just helped out somebody. Let's start with that, then I'll go into my stuff.
okay. I just want to make sure that this podcast is on Marvin Speller's Facebook page, and it
I
is.
would appreciate that.
Yeah. So, um, I get a message from a friend of mine, Tracy, and she had lost her husband. Great dear friend of mine, and she was asking about where can I get Coach's book, and I said I got one. I look for it, can't find it. But she will definitely have a book within a day or two. But that's you always talk about people. They're looking, but they're listening, right? In silence, right? Believe it, quote unquote, maybe.
I'd
Um,
say hundreds and hundreds of people are checking in
mm,
insights because they're looking for tips, tricks, or anything they can do to help themselves out. And we're always willingly giving this to others. And so, I mean, Charlie, I commend you. I know you don't need it, brother, but I mean, to do something like that is huge, man. And it's you do so much. You do so much. I do so much that
yes,
I don't
yes, you
look
do.
for anything in return. Sometimes it just makes a difference in the lives of other people. That's what it's all about. Um, you asked me how I'm doing. I'm
Hmm.
doing okay. I was sharing something with a friend today,
Yeah.
and they were a little bit worried about me. I said, "Listen," I said, "I have this thing," and I said, "I'm going to read it to you." So
Mm.
I'll show you again. I'll show the viewing audience. You see that?
1 second. Let me
That's my postcard.
see. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I wrote this to me 7 years ago. And
Mm.
it says M. You are already magnificent. Things continue to work out for you. I love you. So I wrote that to myself.
Very nice.
And no matter what's going on in my life, this always runs in the background. Kind of like when you have something, you got music playing in the background. This is the music playing in the background.
Nice.
And so whenever how something looks, at some point I'll reflect on this, that, you know what? All is okay. So this is what I had to do today, man. Because I had something that really irritated me. So,
it's been a week, right? It's been that type of week.
Yeah, and so I realized that, is it something that's real, or is it something I'm making up in my mind? I don't know. But all I know, the most important thing for me is how I feel on any given moment. And I know I've shared that to you and the viewing audience a million times. It's always, and this is something that's so important and critical, people. How you feel makes all the difference. Something can cool your nervous system down and all that. So, I wanted to share a video, and then I want to go into a lesson for today.
Okay.
Can you play it, my friend?
Yeah, let me just trying to put the podcast on our Facebook website, profile rather, and then I'll get that going. 1 second here.
No
one more click, and we shall be good. All right. So the video. And add it to the stage. Start from the beginning.
My bros is a form of...
Excuse me, folks. I'm just trying to get this to the beginning. Here we go.
I was busy hanging my laundry. I remember my friend saying, I can't do anything right. That, my bros, is a form of self-sabotage. Self-sabotage are patterns created in your mind that prevent you from reaching your goals. It can come from childhood, bad relationships, or fear of failing. Even when something good happens, you tell yourself, this is too good to last. Subconsciously, your actions will not make it last. I'm no psychologist, but what has helped me is noticing patterns in my life, acknowledging my achievements, and affirming myself with positive thoughts. There's plenty of info available online. Look after yourself. I was busy hanging my laundry. I remember my friend saying, I can't do anything right. That, my bros, is a form of self-sabotage. Self-sabotage are patterns created in your mind that prevent you from reaching your goals. It can come from childhood, bad relationships, or fear of failing. Even when something good happens, you tell yourself, this is too good to last. Subconsciously, your actions will not make it last. I'm no psychologist, but what has helped me is noticing patterns in my life, acknowledging my achievements, and affirming myself with positive thoughts. There's plenty of info available online. Look after yourself.
Yeah.
Great.
I mean, imagine that, right? I mean, we talked about words have energy, and these energetic patterns. It is what it is. It's called self-sabotage, right?
Yes.
And you are the owner of that. So think about, there are millions of ways you can self-sabotage yourself. And you know, I have been a victim of that. Especially during the phase of my rebuilding. Hi, Evelyn. How are you?
Yeah. Hello. How you doing, my friend? Our friend.
Yes, our friend. You know, let's go into this, man.
Yep.
Self-sabotage. You think about it. You say all these things. And I think about some of the words I would say to myself. This is not going to happen. I suck at this. I suck at this. And For the audience, I've been mostly around the past 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so prevalent because you really start to believe when you say this stuff. But there is a way to offset it. And I want to kind of go into that today. So, really, what is self-sabotage? It really is you're building a kind of safety net around you. And self-sabotage is it's proof that you're not broken. You just have some things that you hold against yourself.
Hmm.
But you can break it. But a lot of times that safety net. Number one, name the pattern. So something is so you can like, okay, say you just say like something is wrong with me.
Mm-hmm.
You start to identify it as like, I'll pull back when things are not going well or things are not clear. Awareness is the key for step one. Name the pattern. There is a lot of psychologists will talk about name a pattern that you have. Like name something you're saying. Well, I suck at this. Name that pattern and name what are you doing.
Mm-hmm.
You first have to name the pattern. I hope that makes a lot of sense. Number two, what is this behavior teaching you or protecting you from? So you get to kind of like, okay, what is causing you to act this way?
Mm.
So one and two kind of bleed into each other. But number two really is like, what is the behavior protecting you from? Well, it could be protecting you from inaction. You think about it, you already talked yourself out. You already self-sabotage yourself by saying you suck at something.
Yeah.
Then what is it protecting you from? Think about that for a second, right? Number three, replace the old script. So the script could be like, okay, I'm not going to be good at this. Well, great at this, right? You know how some people say you talk yourself into something, you talk yourself out of it, but you can really talk yourself into it. Once you can identify and realize what it is you're doing.
True.
Right? So that's kind of, in layman's terms, kind of reframing that. So you can reframe it. So what you're really trying to do is replace the old inner script. Because when you go through a certain phase, you're just really replacing, in some ways, the old you with the new you.
Mm-hmm.
I can speak to that a lot because I'm at the new me, while I still have vestiges of the old me, which I realize are not that good.
Mm-hmm.
So you think about that. You're replacing with different type of talk. Because once you identify what it is, once you know what it is, you're saying things to yourself all day. We all have conversations with ourselves, whether it's audible or not.
Yeah.
Right? So, and you can replace where you're at with, I suck at something, like, I am enough, I'm okay. And then the last step, take small, aligned action.
Mm.
Small. And small builds you to momentum. Momentum is everything.
Mm.
Because you have to think about it. The energy we transform is momentum, not all at once.
Yeah.
Like if we say we want something to change, it starts with, first, what is it? Can I believe it change? And then taking the inspired action. So that's always the case, And you got to figure out, well, what is it, the small aligned action? Could it be more support, more boundaries? Could be your environment, all sorts of things. Once you figure out, well, what is my small aligned action? This is where you take action from that standpoint. You have multiple things you can do. Once you felt like, okay, my reframe is I'm okay, I'm amazing, and all these things. Well, you don't want to put yourself back in that environment that can bring those feelings back up. When you start to say these certain things. So that's the simple process. I just wanted to give that lesson to you all. Just a simple process. Really, 1, 2, 3. And
Yeah.
pattern, identify it. Awareness is everything. Realize what is it doing? Is it protecting me? Is it keeping me safe, etc.? Is it keeping me from any type of inaction? That's the part of keeping yourself safe, is like, well, you don't want to do a damn thing because you know you're going to suck at it.
Yeah.
Right? It's that simple. So you start to turn that around because you've already identified how it's protecting you and what it is, and you get to reframe it, and then you take the inspired action. These are the ways to undo self-sabotage.
And a lot of people, and I just want people to understand that, speed or progress doesn't have to be fast, right?
Right.
The momentum could be built. Momentum could be done very slowly, but at least it's pushing you forward.
Yes.
And Heather, our good friend, says a lot of it's fear. And she mentions that in our studio chat because she's in the background. She's in the back room.
I don't see any studio chat.
Yeah, if I don't know why you're not there. It says 3 people.
Yeah,
Off to the right.
but it's all good.
But Heather's with us, man. She's with us.
Great. What's up, Heather?
That's it. She's doing her thing.
Yeah. So those things. And you think about what causes procrastination and inaction. Really is that fear bubbling up.
Yeah.
And what are you protecting yourself from? And yeah, think about it. A lot of stuff, that's the thing that causes us so much pain. When you think about it. So that's the main lesson. I really wanted to break that down this week, what self-sabotage do. And I think when we talk about the onward part of, especially where I'm at, right? The onward part. When I think about self-sabotage, it should probably have my name on it. Should probably wear that with a chain on the self-sabotage. Because I think about, when I was feeling like I was building from ground zero.
Yep.
That was that. And a lot of people, when they go through trauma in their lives, they do a lot of self-sabotage. And you start to think, when I think about it, hell, I had to rebuild everything, right?
Yes.
And so I thought about that. Just like when I wrote my book, there was a ton of self-sabotage. Oh, it's not going to sell. It's not going to impact many. I mean, all sorts of just bullshit I'm saying in my head. I'm like, none of that matters. And you know what changed that? When I identified it, I realized what it was, but somebody helped me with that. Somebody was like, I check out your podcast and I see what you guys are talking about. And you know what? It's impacting many people. I was like, and I recently heard that from Heather. I was like, well, damn. I knew there was many people in the background checking this out.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you don't always need that stuff for validation, right? But sometimes it's nice to know that you're impacting many. And we do this not because of that. We do this because we want to help.
Exactly.
And I think about you giving a book out to somebody, you've given out dozens of books. And so have I.
It's all good, man.
It's about helping people. And I know Heather has done that too.
Yeah.
So, thank you,
Good.
Heather, for trying to make a difference in the lives of many too.
Birds of a feather flock together, right?
Always, no doubt.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think about that. And so I think about back to the topic, self-sabotage. Those are some of the key tips to overcome it.
Mm.
Does that mean you're never going to have it? Of course you're going to have it.
Yeah.
But like when I was in a self-sabotage moment today, I realized what it was. And the one thing that helped reframe it is the one thing that's on my wall when I leave out. Sometimes I'll high five it.
Yeah.
And this is really what lies in the background is that.
It's almost like a rally call before the game, man. You get that high five and start your day,
Or it's like a broken record.
Yep.
The one thing I realized, and I've definitely realized through all the phases that I've been through, you know what? At the end of the day, I get this self-sabotage, and we're talking about ways to overcome it. I think sometimes the awareness piece is like, you know what? You know who the Calvary is? Like, who's the Calvary in your life, Charlie?
I would say, close family, wife and kids.
You got the wife, kids, and all that. And
grandchildren, yep.
Right. Some people are fortunate enough to have that.
Yeah, exactly.
Who do you think the Calvary is for me?
I think the Calvary for you, without a doubt, is mom, your mom.
Is that Calvary or support?
No, I say it's Calvary because you clearly said over the years that she talked to you, spoke to you, and got you to move onward, and
yeah, she contributed big time to that.
Yeah,
because like I said, there are a lot of people who don't make it out of that. Just a lot of people don't. And a lot of people can say, well, some people move forward and move on and all that stuff, and let me tell you all something. There are a lot of people who can't, because you're stuck in that perpetual loop. So the numbers are staggering, especially the older and older people get. So that's just a fact. And so I'll answer that question for you. I've had some great supporters along the way.
Mm-hmm.
By and large, that Calvary has been me.
Okay.
So
that's good.
When I realized that was the thing that ultimately, when you think
that's true in everybody, right?
Yeah, when you think about it with self-sabotage, when you self-sabotage yourself less, you realize, you know what? You're not going to let yourself down. You're going to be true to yourself. And that can show up in many different ways.
Yeah.
You show high regard, high respect for yourself. And then the boundaries around you is like, you don't allow that shit to happen to you, man. I mean, you think about it. When you have that, where you're not going to let yourself down, you enable these certain boundaries around you, which matter for everything, man. Charlie, you were ex-cop, but I'm sure before you were a cop, you wouldn't let anybody disrespect you.
No.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta, and sometimes that's a form of self-love.
Yeah.
What is self-love? Excuse me. What does self-love look like? Only you get to define that.
Yeah.
And you really got to be sure. You got to be critically sure of what that is. And
let me add to that for a second. Heather says that self-sabotage is fear of the unknown and fear of the failure. She also adds that I'm fearing of being a life coach because I don't want to fail.
Of course, that's self-sabotage.
Yeah.
And then Heather, I would say, you know how sometimes early on when you wanted to learn how to swim, somebody had to push your ass in the water?
Yep.
I'm not saying to that extreme.
Well, my dad did that to me, pushed me right in the water.
Sometimes you just got to get moving.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a level of accountability. You got to get moving. And I would always say that to anybody. Because, yeah, we're all going to have fears. And guess what? You're never going to not have them. Everybody has them. I have fears at times. I try not to let them overwhelm me. But we all have something that comes up. We have a million thoughts a day. There's things that come up, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, damn, what is that? You're like, wow. So, yeah, we are going to have that. Thing about it is, don't let your fears ever paralyze you. Or your fears, your brain is a tool for you, not the other way around. So get a hold of that bad boy. That's why self-talk has these energetic patterns to it.
Mm-hmm.
And the things we say that are more positive for us, whether it's an affirmation or whether you're digging yourself out of self-sabotage, the words I'm not going to go too deep into it. We talked about it last week. We have this energetic field around us. And the things we say and think could enhance that or disrupt it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just like some days when you're feeling your best, looking your best and all that, you attract certain people around you. Somebody near and dear picked up on that energetic field. And voila, here you go.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important to stay grounded and understand by what you say and how you feel makes all the difference in you and the people around you. So guard this with your life, your feelings. So
let me see. Got a message here.
How are you getting all the messages? I don't see any of them, brother.
Yeah, I don't know why. You should have it because it has 3 people in our studio, you, I, and Heather.
I don't see
it says, can you hear me? I have unmuted, but I don't think you can hear me. All right, wait. We're going to bring it to the studio. Okay with you?
Go ahead.
Hey, Heather.
Hey, Heather.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. So going back to the Calvary piece of it.
Mm-hmm.
Your Calvary is only, in my opinion, Calvary is those people who show up for you.
Of course.
Right? And yes, we can all have friends and associates.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm talking about those people who are there for you no matter what, day in, day out, good days, bad days, and then bouncing to the piece about, fear. My fear with being a life coach. It's the fear of the unknown.
Exactly. That's what it is. It's the fear of the
It's
unknown.
the fear of the unknown. And I think a lot of it with people is, am I gonna fail?
Of course.
Right? Because we all
Yeah.
want to succeed.
So you know what the fear is an acronym. False evidence appearing real.
Hmm.
And that by and large what it is, right?
Mm.
Like I have never been anybody who says they have come to grips with all their fears.
Hmm.
I have a bunch of them because they popped up over the past several years. And I want to go back to you said about Calvary, but the thing about Calvary, I think there's a difference between supporters no matter what and then a Calvary. Because I think the Calvary, by and large, it's great to have, but I don't ultimately the only person you could depend on yourself. And I'm not saying that to be cruel and harsh, but that
I
is
don't think it's that cruel at all.
yeah,
I think that's reality.
it is reality.
Yeah, because a cavalry kind of goes to the rescue or the support
Hmm.
on command.
Hmm.
But sometimes you can't. You'll try to have someone, hey, get over here right now. I need you.
So that's needing, right? That's
Yeah,
needing,
yeah,
Right.
that's
yeah.
not an actuality, right? So
Hmm.
when
Hmm.
you think about something you want to do to please yourself, right?
Mm,
Hmm.
You're ultimately responsible for that,
yeah,
no doubt. And
yeah.
like I said, that's been my story at least the past 3 years.
Our cavalry, first and foremost, is ourselves. We
Yeah,
have to be the
So
cavalry
true, true,
absolutely,
true.
no doubt.
because that's what we can depend on, right? We're in control of what we do.
Yeah.
And we were talking about fear for a second, right?
Uh-huh.
Actually,
Um,
this is a great comment right there. It's probably going to lead to what you're saying. And Anthony says, my fears are from my experience. PTSD
Hmm.
mhm.
has made me fearless. Sounds crazy, but it's real. I have come to the grips with whatever fears had. God, let's see, God is my only fear. I get it. Anthony Black is a U.S. veteran. Been through
Thank you
a
for
lot of
serving the country, Anthony.
Thank
Really.
you
life,
for your service.
yep, life, a lot of life experiences, and
I'm
so
gonna tell you all something.
hmm
Just like me getting through the onward phase of my life,
yeah,
and I will tell you, me writing the book, I had to go into a dark ass deep place inside of me in
mm,
order to write that book. And I
yeah,
shared that with you, Charlie, early on.
yes,
And so that place was fearful. It was ugly. It was burnt. It was dark. It was just brutal. And part of that, when you have that, you don't care what happens, right? And so I did that because I heard all these things about, well, you should think about this, and I heard millions of responses from people going through grief, what you should do and what you shouldn't do, right? And so I
hmm
had to go to a place that didn't really care about almost anything
mm,
and bring that up and bring that, that's why I said unpacking grief, shattered to onward. You know, that statement has a lot of meaning to it.
mm,
Remember, um, the 100 pages in the book and 7 chapters have a meaning to it. It's just
yeah,
not happenstance. I mean, everything I do is very intentional. And so, yeah, so I mean, fear and anger and pissed off and all sorts of stuff. Sometimes you have to dance with that part of you.
Yeah.
And sometimes it gets stuff done. You know? So that's kind of where I was at, my brother. But thank you, Anthony. That is so relevant.
Yeah, it is. All right, I'm gonna take Heather off the screen here for a sec. I like the fact that we have that interaction. You know, we always talk about people coming on and mentioning about, you know, hey, invite me. I have something to say. You know, and I'm glad that, you know, Heather was in the studio to actually do that, and she's
Yeah,
able.
I'm grateful what other people have, because it's like it's a collective experience. It's a collective thought pattern. This is what we have always tried to create, a hive mind on everything we do. We invite anybody to come talk to us. Anybody. That's why we at times we invited a lot of people to come on and talk, because we want to hear other people's perspectives. We don't have all the answers, but collectively we can have some level of discernment and give that out to the whole listening audience.
Yeah.
Um,
I like I just like this. I like all our podcasts, but I'm very, it feels really, really good to me, or for me, when we have experienced people come in and give their input, and then give their time, you know, because Heather's busy and a busy professional, and Anthony's busy and he's a busy professional, that
Right.
here they are, they're spending some time with us.
Absolutely. I'm grateful for everybody who joins in and
Yeah.
Appreciate everything we do. I mean, to try to help people. My goodness.
Yeah.
So
Facebook.
The last people who I sent my book to.
Mm-hmm.
It was a surprise to them.
Yes.
And I think about, you know, we talked a little bit about your nervous system gets hit. Just like Anthony, your nervous system got hit. And when you go through something traumatic, your nervous system gets hit. And that could lead to all sorts of things. So, and when you're fearful, your nervous system is hit. You know, sympathetic nervous system is getting pounded. You know, I've been there. And so I think about, for everybody, it's like when you have fears of something, or whether you're having self-sabotage or not, your nervous system getting pounded. And this is the part of why we have the fears, because we want our nervous system to calm and cool down some, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't like that feeling. You know, the heart palpitations, the raised blood pressure, heart rate, the inflammation of your nervous system where you're just not feeling your best. These are all the physical things that happen to us when our nervous system is activated.
Yeah.
Because of all the fears of self-sabotage or other things, or just trauma in our lives. And that's not a good feeling.
No, it isn't.
I mean, think about it. Charlie, one day, say you weren't married to your wife.
Could I be married to Alicia Keys?
Is she on your list of celebrity crushes?
Yeah, one of them. Yeah.
She definitely not on mine, brother. So
Mm-hmm.
keep that. But now you got into an argument with Alicia Keys, right?
Yep.
That anger is activating your nervous system. I mean, there's so many things that can go wrong when your nervous system is activated.
So
So,
true.
I
Yep.
mean, think about it. So that's our most, and you know what? There's things inside of us we're always trying to protect ourselves, and one of the ways to protect ourselves is the fear.
Mm-hmm.
But that has a dual effect here. Not only does it cause you to have inaction, but it inflames your nervous system. So, you know, next week we're gonna go into P84 because I've come up with some really nice stuff where all the things we do and all that. I was reading something today and they were saying one of the top 3 reasons why we go to our doctors is because of our gut.
Mm-hmm.
And it's become more and more and more as we live in an environment, right, where we're getting bombarded. That's that. And see, we talked about being bombarded from self-sabotage. We're constantly being bombarded.
Yeah.
So we'll go into that big time next week. But
So you don't want me to say my message about gut health? You want me to wait?
let's wait. We'll talk about it. If you want to go into it, and we'll go into it more next week. But I'll pull. Remember, I told you what I like to do. I like to pull 3 cards.
Yep.
I'm gonna read them to you. Something that made you laugh out loud, either today or this week.
Today was we had to drop off. I have a nurse on my bus, so we had to drop her off.
Thank you, Anthony.
Yeah, thank you. Well done on your part, always, brother. The so we had to drop him off, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was near the bus terminal, the bus parking lot where I work. We dropped the nurse off. He's still on the bus. We still got to bring him home. So as we approach along the side of the parking lot, he says, "The bus kingdom,"
Mm-hmm.
because of all the buses, and but it was kind of cool. So I said I would use it, right? I would use it. Anthony Black says Dave Chappelle made him laugh today.
Yeah, I love to hear that. I love to hear from everybody. I mean,
Yeah.
I love that. Anything else made you laugh out loud?
Let's see. That was kind of
How about eating that donut?
no donuts today, man. None at all.
All right.
Just
You know what?
nice.
You know
Mm-hmm.
what? I haven't had a good laugh today. That may have been my first laugh today, which is sad.
Oh yeah.
That's sad. I mean, I even got my coach name, Coach M100, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's important. That's something that calms your nervous system down. Laugh more. Enjoyment calms that thing down. And breathing, people. And sometimes, here's one thing that can calm your nervous system down really fast. Take 3 deep breaths in. Do it, let it out 3 times. And then the next set of 3, breathe it in and let it out in 7 seconds. Do that and do that again. And that'll calm your nervous system down big time. So breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. And the next one, breathe in, breathe it out slowly, 7 seconds. Do it again, breathe in, maybe 3 seconds and out 7 seconds. And then breathe in 3, out 7. And do that same set again. Your nervous system will start to ease down. So you can do things along the way. If you can't get it that quick enough, then do that. That's going to help you out. So that's a tip and trick. All right, here's the next one, Charlie.
Yep.
So again, I haven't had enough laughs today. There's a problem with that. I'm not in the right environment. So something you take for granted.
Hmm. Hmm. I could say that, sometimes I take conversation piece from my wife for granted, right?
Hmm.
Kind of gotta give it some more value, right?
I love to hear that, Charlie.
Yeah. So, you know, that and that happened today. There's probably a lot of reason why I only laughed once today.
Hmm.
And you laughed once just a few minutes ago.
I
So
had to once, man. I mean,
yeah,
which is not good.
yeah.
So, um,
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 Anthony says absolutely nothing. Yeah.
I like what he said
Uh,
before. That's actually an old special forces breathing technique.
yeah. Yeah.
Probably, maybe where I picked that up from, Anthony. Thank you.
Yeah.
But it works.
Yeah.
Definitely
It does.
works.
Hmm.
So something I take for granted. I would say all the relationships I have, I take for granted
Mm.
because sometimes when I'm in my own hole,
Yep.
I don't realize at times how good I have it. How good I have it with the people around me that love me. I got it pretty damn good, man.
Mm.
So yeah, I take that for granted sometimes.
And there's one thing, even with you saying that, right?
Hmm.
And you're saying how good you have it. Um, but I also want you to understand that your your appearance, your just you in general, brings out a lot of the goodness in people around you.
Thank you. I
So
appreciate
in what you do in that, it causes a better environment. Into an environment where it's appreciated by you. And so I just want to let you know that sometimes you got to say that
No, I
you
appreciate it.
you bring that to the room, right?
No, I
We
appreciate
yeah.
I appreciate that. What I've tried to do a lot lately when I'm around people, I just put a smile on my face.
Hmm.
And you know what? We have something wired in us. When we see a smile, we smile.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to do more of that.
That's it. I always write about contagious smiles,
Yes, it is
and
contagious, brother.
write that all the time.
It's hard to have two good and a bad exist in the same time. So
Mhm.
I have one more for you.
Yeah,
But thank you. I appreciate that comment, Charlie. Um,
you got it, bro.
Obstacles you've overcome.
Hmm. I think I don't know of any right now. Um, I mean, I've been an obstacle myself. We talk about sabotage of the body. I've been sabotaging my own head sometimes.
Right.
Uh, Heather says, Charlie, your wife is part of your Calvary. Oh, Calvary uplifts us to a better version of ourselves. Yes.
It's true.
Um,
Well,
see,
if
Heather,
you're around the right
once,
people, right? If you're around the right people, absolutely.
yeah,
I would definitely say that a million times. And so that's what I was saying. When you think about you think about what type of support you need to be at a better place.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you can't have crappy people around you.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't have people that tug on the things that don't cause you to be your best.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, um, I remember, and Heather, I will embarrass you for a little bit here. I remember, you can put it up if you want.
What's that?
Can you put her back up?
Oh, okay. Yep.
So I remember, hearing your full story, and I think about what your present husband brings to you.
Mm.
And so when you think about the people around you can make all the difference. So I agree with that point you guys were saying. It can make all the difference. And I think about,
Absolutely.
right? Absolutely, right? And
Absolutely.
starts at home, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I always, so my always thing that I've always said is kind of like sports people, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to support your home team.
That's
Yeah.
right.
If
And
you don't support your home team, you have nothing.
right.
It starts at home.
Right. And you got to be around people that, I think you bring out the
Yeah, of
best in you, but you got to be around people that support that journey with you.
course.
It's
Of course.
always about that support. And so
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
totally.
Whether that's your wife, your husband, your children, siblings, your best friend, you have to surround yourself. But I think sometimes we lose sight of those biggest cheerleaders.
Right.
Mm. Yep.
Sometimes our biggest cheerleaders are our spouses,
That's true.
our siblings, our kids.
That's
Look
true.
at Charlie. It
Yep.
sounds to me like Charlie's wife is his biggest supporter.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would I would
She's
second that. I would definitely second that.
she's cheering him on like that's his Calvary. She is driving him home, man. Like,
Yep.
you know,
Until
she's
yeah.
you gotta give credit where credit's due, and I think sometimes when we're on this journey, we overlook the immediate people who are our supporters, our Calvary.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. I think sometimes I take for granted the many relationships I have with people all around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when I'm feeling lonely and I may not have that, I can just reach out and touch that. I think sometimes I take that for granted.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's not where you're at right then and there.
Right.
So I think that may cause some apathy on my part.
Hmm.
So I think about that.
Yeah.
But with that, I should be more grateful at times because I have the support that I love. I just love it, and I love the Charlie. I love the impact we're making on the masses of people because it means a lot.
Yeah.
We always talked about it. If it reaches one person,
Yeah.
that makes all the difference. One person.
Hmm.
Um,
It only takes one, and by that one person, by word of mouth, it spreads to many.
oh yeah, and I think it's done that. I want to
Yeah.
talk the last couple minutes. My audiobook.
Like one second first, because this is still on subject. It's I guess Anthony's obstacle was how to forgive people that have done me wrong. I overcame the feeling of revenge, and I wanted to mention that because that's his obstacle, and it's that's something that's difficult sometimes for me to do.
Yeah, me
Hmm.
too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like I said before, we all have a side to us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I've dipped into that side to get shit done,
Yeah.
or whether it was revenge or standing up for myself or etc. As long as I don't lean too deep into that side, because ultimately I want to always do the right thing for everybody.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean I can't leverage that energy from that side to get things done. So,
I guess if you guys don't mind me interjecting
Mm-hmm.
to speak to Anthony,
Yeah.
he, he mentioned about forgiving people who have done him wrong. I guess my question is, on what level did they do you wrong?
Mm.
Because there's different levels, right, of forgiveness. And it depends on what that person did to you that you're looking at forgiving them. There's different levels to that. Somebody
Yeah.
cut you off in traffic, yeah, you're going to move on, right?
Mm-hmm.
If somebody abused you, that's a whole different level.
Yeah.
So I think it depends on the ask of what they did to you
Mm-hmm.
is the question.
right.
Yeah.
And then you can gear that towards what you can do to move past it.
That's true. That's very true. I also think about be mindful and be aware of how that affects you, because that can totally steer how you operate, because someone's holding the space in your head and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times
Mhm.
for free. And it's almost like sometimes when you hold something against someone, it's almost like you drinking a poison and expecting that to affect the other person. So you
Yeah.
got to be
Right.
always mindful of
Yeah.
what something happened or somebody did to you, how much you have it weigh on your soul. That's
Yeah.
just my perspective.
Mhm.
I
Is it
agree.
worth it to hold on to that anger?
I don't know.
Depends on the degree
Yeah,
of
Yeah.
the hurt.
yeah.
He
Um,
gives a response here, and his response is says on a level where this person may have been extinguished from the anger that I had in me. Yeah.
hmm,
And it makes sense because sometimes that revenge is definitely going to be at a point or at a level where um maybe it's physical, where you go after someone and you end up hurting them.
mhm,
But does that solve everything? No, it doesn't, because being physical and hurting someone else has its consequence, and its consequence may
Hmm.
be um, an arrest, incarceration,
right.
um, and things like that. So, you know, I definitely read that, and definitely know what you're doing, what you're talking about. Um, and he says that that's a great analogy, and I appreciate the comment. But there are three anger management classes. Two cognitive, cognitive. I can't. I can't even pronounce that. Thinking classes, monthly visits, and psychiatrist for PTSD. It's hard for people like me to readjust to the real world, and I understand that so hardly. Whew, and
And I appreciate the journey that you've taken, Anthony. I'll say that
yeah,
one
yeah,
person to another, my brother. I will say also to that, this proves everybody has a journey to take in their lives, and some people it's way, way more difficult,
hmm
and to readjust. And I would also say to that, really, what is the real world? Is any of this real? Because I don't think it is. I mean, I know from what people would consider normalcy, I get that some people want to function in that world, but sometimes the world we live in or what's normal is what's in between our ears and what we see and feel. I think we all try to make that feel normal the best way we can. And
Mm.
so I get, and I'm grateful that somebody's trying to do that to get themselves back to that place. It's
Yeah.
probably way easier said than done.
Yes.
Yep. And it's a far much. It's it needs more length of time than a podcast, right?
Yes.
Yes. And so it's but
And I
Anthony.
think sometimes the brain, Anthony, reaching out to you, um, having gone through traumatic experience in my life as well, I think sometimes the brain automatically tries to make the logical out of the illogical.
Hmm.
And sometimes there's no answers for that.
Yeah.
And we have no control over the illogical, but we have control over what we do with it going forward.
Hmm. Like that. I like that. Like that. I like that.
Yeah.
The Yeah, Heather, you gave a lot of comments, but we got to get you on the other side. We have to get you on the other side. And what I mean by the other side is when you listen to the podcast, you know, go on my page or Marvin's page or YouTube. That way you can
I'm
put.
on it.
All right, yeah, we definitely want to have those comments in there because the chat you put it in is our private chat. Well, it's my private chat because Marvin can't get in it, so I don't know what's going
Mhm.
on. I have never been on that side. I
Yeah,
don't,
I can't see it well.
so I don't know how it looks on the other side where Marvin's at and you're at.
No,
So I
I
don't.
only see the comments. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Um.
oh, you know what? I clicked on the private chat up top and it's there.
See that? Oh
Um,
man,
so I wasn't paying attention.
that's it.
So, well, there you go. It's my second laugh of the day. Um,
Mhm.
so, um, so yeah, we'll go into things that help people that can affect all. Is that P84 that we're going to
Mhm.
go into deep next week, man? That's
Yeah.
one of the things that we're going to go in deep on next week. So we're going to go back to talk about more things you can do to help yourself because you have to do it. You have to do things to help yourself. It's not going to magically just happen.
Yeah. Um. Anthony, we love you. Thanks for the support. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for your intellect and good luck on it at the station with your show. And I'll talk to you later. Remember, you need me, give me a holler.
Hmm. And vice
Very
versa. I'm here to
yeah,
support you as well.
yeah,
Um,
he. Thank you, Heather. You also.
yeah, so we're um my audiobook came out on Friday. So get yourself a copy of that. It's voiced in my own voice, no AI voice, and I added 5 extra chapters in that to help
Hmm.
people out. So you
It
all will really appreciate
sounds
that.
great, everyone. You got to get it. It's
Have you listened to the whole thing, Charlie?
no, no, I didn't. Almost there.
Okay.
Um, like I said,
And we can get that through Amazon, Marvin.
No, he's got it running down the bottom. It's on Gumroad. Can you put it up, Charlie?
I put it. Um,
You got it running down the bottom, but can you put it up on
mm, let me
Because I want to get that.
hold on. Let me do this. All right, let's go here and I did share it on Marvin's page, Heather, so it should be on his
Okay.
or mine. One of them, I can't remember.
I definitely want to
Yeah, let me.
partake in that to share
Yeah,
as well with others.
I'll actually share it to you. Um, all right, let's see if it comes up.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's on my page,
perfect.
well, and
Yeah, I mean, I as much as I love the print, I love this too. I love the audiobook because it gives a little bit different perspective, especially
Mhm.
the first chapter is really going to hit people a certain way
yeah,
Mhm.
to the
yep.
rest of the book. So, um,
And if I mean if you're in a car, man, oh my God,
Yeah.
it just
yeah,
sounds so
it'll
great.
hit you in the car. Yeah, you can listen to the whole thing all the way through. So,
You can read a book, but there's something about hearing the feelings of a person that resonates.
oh, you're gonna hear the feeling. You're definitely gonna hear it.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
So,
that's what people need to hear.
yeah, they need to hear the whole story,
Yes.
and it's as raw as the book, if not more raw. Um, so
That's what people need to hear because that's what they're going to identify with,
yeah,
absolutely, you got to get the raw.
right?
Yep.
If you are transcribing this through text, it wouldn't have the same message as the same message we had tonight,
yeah.
Oh,
talking and
absolutely.
hearing from you and Charlie.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Yeah,
You also.
we got to get in here. We got to show ourselves, and we got
Yes.
to just give it to you.
Hmm.
Hmm,
Absolutely.
yeah, the Heather, I did send it to you, so you should have it in
I
Messenger.
saw that. It popped up. Thank you so much, Charlie. I
All right,
appreciate that.
you're welcome.
Hey, Charlie, do me a favor. When you play it, uh, can you play it on your speakers in your area you're in now? Because I went back and refined the vocals. I mean the sound a little bit. Let me know how it sounds.
All right, hold on one second.
You know what? If we have a little bit of time, you could play. If you can, play chapter one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Uh,
only like 3 or 4 minutes.
yep. Hold
Yeah.
on one
Play it.
second.
Okay,
Hold on
Charlie,
one
can you
second.
please play it, brother?
Yep.
Okay.
Because we
No
text.
pressure.
Yeah, we text each other like high school friends, you know. Let me see. Let me make sure.
No pressure, Charlie.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Let's see. Gotta make sure I'm on the right one here. All right. And what is going on here? Here it is.
The American Phoenix. Kristen Perry Speller is an exceptional Cape Verdean woman. Her heritage rooted in the beautiful archipelago of Cape Verde off the coast of West Africa. The Cape Verdean community is vibrant, known for its culture, resilience, music, and a tight-knit family bonds. In my humble opinion, it is the most beautiful culture anywhere. Though I admit, I'm biased. Kristen embodied all of this. She was the best person I've ever met, and I know that I'm not the only one who feels that way. She had a way of dissolving the illusion of separation through her presence, her love, and her way of truly seeing people. She reminded everyone that they mattered. Her love made you feel like home. Something in me recognized the magnitude of her soul immediately when I met her during my visit to Los Angeles. I met her in the one place where she let her soul guide her, the music studio. I knew immediately that she was someone that I needed to get to know more. Not because she was very beautiful, which she was, but her aura and vibration were exhilarating and incredible. When I first met her, I told her, I'm here to remind you of your greatness. I don't know why, but I said it. But it came straight from my spirit. We met at a local Starbucks, but the truth is, it almost didn't happen. I had asked her out for drinks, a rare move for me, since I never liked being told no. Rejection? Who likes that? But I had to ask her out. Something to me said that this was different. She gently smiled and told me she didn't drink. Her favorite drink is Shirley Temple. Classic and sweet, just like her. So we chose Starbucks instead. We sat down, looked at each other, and almost in perfect sync, we both asked each other, Are you hungry? That spark, that shared moment of instinct, set the tone for everything that would follow. We spotted an Argentinian restaurant across the street and made our way there. The food, incredible. But what really filled us that day was the conversation. We talked for hours. I told her that I was in the process of opening a battered women's shelter. Her eyes widened and she leaned in. She told me her story, one filled with unimaginable pain, but also with resilience and grace. I had no idea she was a survivor of domestic violence. That moment shifted everything. The air between us thickened with meaning, and the vibrational closeness between us deepened. Her courage moved me. Our souls were talking. That night, something unspoken was planned between us. A trust, a reverence, a knowing, and it would grow into a love that transformed us both forever. When the night ended, I knew I had to travel back to Charlotte in a few days. While she remained in Los Angeles, I walked her to her car and drove off, wondering when I'd see or hear from her again. But fate had other plans. We talked every single day after that night. We opened up about everything, our similarities, our fears, our past heartbreaks. I was recovering from a devastating relationship. She was living in hiding from her ex husband. And yet, in each other, we found refuge. Before we ever said the words, I love you, we had already shared our entire hearts. Can you believe I fell in love over the phone? Our connection grew stronger with every conversation. Then fate stepped in again. I had another conference in Los Angeles. That trip aligned perfectly with her need to move into a new apartment. So I attended my event and helped her step out of hiding into a new chapter. We spent quality time together that week, laughing, loving, dreaming. Our bond had matured into something neither of us could deny. On my last day before flying back, we had lunch again, just the two of us. We spoke about our future, our potential, our hearts. Kristen dropped me off at the airport and she cried like I never witnessed before. She had so much genuine burning desire for me, and I am witnessing this in real time. As I boarded my flight, I knew our connection wasn't just emotional, it was forever. The next day we talked again, and something in both of our voices had shifted. We knew We talked seriously about me moving over into Los Angeles. And just 2 months later, I did. I left Charlotte, began a new phase of my life with the woman of my dreams. That decision, moving to Los Angeles, choosing love, building something with Kristen, was the best one I ever made. Over the next 12 years and 9 months, we created a life that was more than beautiful. It was divine. And it all started with a conversation, one meal, one chance of something real. She was the echo of generations of women who carried fire and grace. Her presence could fill a room without a word. Her spirit arrived before she did, even before that beautiful face and lovely smile. She filled the void in my life, not only as a partner, but an incredible mother figure. Her nurturing heart extended far beyond tradition. She stepped into a role of unconditional love, always putting family at the center of our lives. She loved me beyond measure. She often told people that her greatest accomplishment in life was her love for me. She serenaded me countless times with her voice, angelic and intentional. She honored me daily through her actions, her words, and her unwavering presence. Her love and dedication will stand for many generations. She grew up in the Silver City, Taunton, Massachusetts. Kristen always had a deep, unwavering love for her hometown. Several of her songs were dedicated to the city she cherished so much. One of her greatest honors was being presented with the key to the city by the mayor of Taunton, something she had always dreamed of. I am grateful I had the courage to ask the mayor to gift it to her. At that time, I didn't know it was one of her dreams, but we were so intuitively aligned. There are no coincidences. It was important to honor the most remarkable person I ever met. I chose the title of the first chapter, The American Phoenix, from a quiet, sacred place. What I didn't know then, when Kristen first received her diagnosis, she had chosen the exact same name. Once again, there are no coincidences. We spent many years together helping the less fortunate in the city of Los Angeles, from survivors of domestic violence to the unhoused communities. We poured our hearts into the people we serve. Kristen's compassion knew no limits. For her work and heart, she was honored with the Betty Fisher Award by Haven Hills and a Congressional Award from Congressman Sherman. Born to Leo and Barbara Perry, and sister to Jill and Angela, Kristen and her sisters shared a sacred bond, rooted in laughter, trust, and deep love. Her mother's best friend, Jody Almeida, filled the role of mother too since Kristen's preschool years. My mother, Gloria Speller, became her mom number two. Kristen's extended family loved her deeply, and she loved them just as fiercely. She carried the rhythm and grace of West African culture, a gift I was honored to be welcomed into. Kristen had many close friends, the Five Tribe Plus, and others in Arizona and Florida who meant the world to her. She loved deeply, lived fully, gave selfishly. She had a magnetic personality and a heart that would carry nations. Her life was not without pain. She lived under massive scrutiny and wrestled with judgment. But through it all, she stood tall. Our music community has shown up in powerful ways during her life and after her transition. The tributes, support, and love has been nothing short of miraculous. Her voice touched hearts. Her spirit still does. She was an accomplished musician, won the Grammy ballot 8 times. One of our proudest moments was seeing both of our names displayed at the Grand Ole Opry during the Josie Music Awards in Nashville. That moment was legacy in motion. She often calls herself the Phoenix. It wasn't just a nickname, it was a declaration. Kristen identified deeply with the mythology of the Phoenix, a being that rises, reborn from its own ashes. She saw her life, her struggles, her triumphs, her healing, as a constant cycle of breaking and becoming. I have her plaque that reads, "The Phoenix, in times of doubt and confusion, it symbolizes strength, transformation, and renewal. For only from the ashes of who we were can we rise up to become who we're to be." This plaque she owned rings more true now than ever. She wasn't just rising once, she lived a life of continually rising. And in death, that legacy rises again through every person she touched. Her song, Phoenix Rising Up, won the Jury Award at the Global Peace Song Awards, not just because of how it sounded, but because of the spirit it carried. That anthem will outlive us all. Even after her passing, she continues to guide me. I still hear her voice through dreams, through whispers, through stillness. She told me personally to write, to take care of myself, to move forward. We met in the studio in Los Angeles. I was there for business. She was there for magic. From that moment, our lives were never the same. We began long distance. She'd call just to say something beautiful. I'd fly out just to see her face. Her love wasn't casual, it was sacred. Kristen called herself my helpmate, not only in the traditional sense, but in a spiritual one. We built a life together. We didn't complete each other, we complemented each other. We saw what the other could not. Our wedding was unforgettable. Surrounded by family and friends, drenched in divine love, it was alignment in its purest sense. I remember thinking, this is what truth feels like. She knew I didn't want a traditional wedding. I only ever asked for one thing, to be lovable. And she made it feel that way every single day. Her final year was filled with courage. She battled cancer with a grace that shook me. But she never wanted to be defined by her illness. She wanted to be remembered by her impact. And that is why this chapter exists. Kristen wasn't just a person. She was a force, an opening, a bridge between worlds, and she still is. Her greatness echoes through every page of this book. She is the embodiment of divine feminine, soft yet strong, radiant yet grounded, loving yet fierce. And when she left, a part of me went with her. But what remains is her fire, her vow, her story. Let's begin.
Awesome.
That's chapter 1.
You have me in tears.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Because that is everything that I remember my childhood BFF as. Fierce, loving, unconditional, non-judgmental. Kristen never judged anybody.
Yep.
She accepted everybody as they were.
Best person I ever met.
And looked at the best qualities of each person. even when society looked at them as a throwaway.
Yep.
Hmm.
She never did.
Yep. I always, I told Marvin this a few days ago that this audiobook is perfect because he's the one person that can
Absolutely.
describe his wife, my cousin, your friend,
Yes.
um, the best. And
Yep.
there's everyone else can try. They can try. I can write a poem about her and be very sincere and deep about it. But nothing comes out more descriptive, more um, soulful when Marvin Speller talks about Kristen Speller.
Yep.
Sometimes,
This audiobook is your written book was amazing, but I will tell you this, just from listening for the short time of your voice describing how amazing and resilient she was and the love that you had for each other in your own voice resonates 10 times stronger than the book.
Hmm.
thank you. I mean, you have to honor people, um, and it doesn't mean that you can't live your life. It doesn't mean you can always honor people. And I've had, and I've shared this with you, Heather. I've had over the past couple of years, people were like, "Well, how can you ever want to be with another woman or anything else?" And I always say, it's like it doesn't mean you have to stop honoring. And I'll tell people, I'll share this again and again. She told me explicitly, I need to have other women in my life. She told me that.
Hmm.
So doesn't mean I won't ever stop honoring her, but doesn't,
Right.
and so, you know,
You need companionship.
yes,
They're never going to replace Kristen,
and
and a
that's
good woman that comes into your life will honor that and will
Hmm.
not be jealous of that.
of course, of course, but you know how people get judged all the time, so it's all good,
Yeah, but it's companionship.
Yeah.
and
We're
that's
human beings. We need companionship. They're never going to be Kristen.
right. And it talks about in the book of Genesis,
Hmm.
it is not good for a man to be alone.
No.
But ultimately, it doesn't matter what people think I should do. I know what I should do,
Yes.
or what I am. I get to define that better than anybody.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And when you meet the right woman, a good woman who values the book of God, will never be jealous of Kristen. If anything, they'll honor her and support you in remembering her and honoring her and support you in that.
Well,
And vice versa. If you
and-
met a woman who lost her husband,
right. You know what
you would be that person too.
and you know what? I will say this to any woman out here in the world. Kristen taught me how to embody love because
Hmm.
she was an embodiment of love.
Yes.
Hmm.
So, I mean, that was the many gifts that she gave was that one. So,
Yeah.
you hope that resonates with the whole world.
And Kristen didn't want you to be alone.
Never.
That wasn't who she was.
No, she told me that.
So if anybody judges you for finding that companion, then shame on them.
Well, I don't really care. I mean, I've been judged so much the past 3 years. It started when you're trying to get something that can help to save her. Some
Hmm.
people said, well, why is Marvin begging?
Hmm.
And I won't say who, well, at least right now, but I've been fully insulted by that. So
Yeah.
I would always tell anybody, when your significant other gets an illness, you would do whatever it takes to try to save them.
Of
Mhm.
course.
So
If you truly love them, you'll go to the ends of the earth to save them.
Yeah.
That's love.
that's who both of us are. So,
Hmm.
but all right.
Exactly.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Heather. I'm glad you enjoyed that chapter. I sent that to a bunch of people too, chapter 1. So
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing.
thank you, Charlie.
Yeah. Thank you, Heather. Thank you. And let's get to marketing this audiobook
Yes,
as much as
absolutely.
possible. So, but yeah, thank you, and look forward to next week. We will.
Okay, Uncle Charlie. We'll go into
Yeah.
we'll go
All
into
right.
Can
P84.
I call you Uncle Charlie too?
Yeah, you can. Yep, I'll take it.
Yeah,
I've,
we'll go
I've,
into
I've been an
P84.
uncle a long time.
Anything else you want to go into on that, brother?
Well,
Thank you so
we
much for letting me be part of this journey.
I'm
yeah,
glad you're here.
yeah. I'm glad you're here too. I'm glad I met someone that's so close to me, and it took this long to meet you. And everyone has a path into my life and their lives, and
That's right.
but I'm
Everything
glad.
happens for a reason.
There are
Yeah,
no coincidences.
that's
Nope.
right.
So,
All right, everyone.
okay.
Thank you, everyone on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Thank you for joining us. Please like and subscribe to both YouTube channels. Being sometimes you have to lose yourself, and the Really Charlie podcast. It really goes a long way. If you're on LinkedIn, I truly, truly appreciate you. I've seen the numbers on LinkedIn go up, and that means that people are listening, and
They
I
are.
really, truly love it. All right, Marvin, be good, and I'm gonna go hang out downstairs. And Heather, call me anytime. Like you
Thank you.
said, we gotta meet up for coffee, and
We definitely do.
we'll
All
do
right.
that soon. All right, take care, everyone.
I'll be
Have
there
a-
sometime this summer.
Well,
Yeah,
whenever you arrive, you let us know.
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Can't wait.
Yes.
I'm gonna feed you a box of Cheerios. No food for you.
I love Cheerios.
Yeah. Well, he's he's taking too long. He's getting no seafood, man.
I gotta get that seafood, man.
Yeah, we'll take care of you, man.
All right,
All
brother.
right, everyone. God bless. Take care,
Yes. God
and have
bless
a
and have a great week.
yes. You also take care.
Okay. Bye.
Welcome to Sometimes You Have to Lose Yourself, a podcast where we explore the complexities of love, loss, and self-discovery. Join Charlie Perry and Marvin Speller when life's unexpected twists and turns come our way. It's easy to lose ourselves in the process, but what if losing ourselves is exactly what we need to find our true selves? Join us as we dive into the depths of human experience, sharing stories, insights, and conversations that will challenge, inspire, and maybe even help you find your way again. Sometimes you have to lose yourself. Let's get started.